That's going to pretty much piss all of us off though, so you'd think he'll do it in one go. Total sausage fest. No ladies anywhere. There actually aren't that many things on earth less likely to kill you than a COVID jab.
ScoMo's cleared the decks for an election.
He's got the climate change monkey off his back. He's opened up the border for international travel. So everyone's asking, when is he going to pull the trigger? There are two key months to think about, May and September. The Senate term, that's the upper house, expires on May 21. We need to elect new senators by that date. But the House of Representatives, the lower house, can sit until September. The Prime Minister could force us to go to the polls twice in a year. Do the Senate early and then the House of Reps a little bit later. That's going to pretty much piss all of us off though, so you'd think he'll do it in one go.
All right, let's get it. Hold on.
Constitutionally, there's got to be 5 weeks between calling it and holding it. So working back from May 21, he's got to nominate a date somewhere between now and the second week of April. November has historically been a popular month for elections. 7 out of the 46 since Federation were in November. But ScoMo's run out of time for that option. December is the most popular month for going to a poll. A quarter of all federal elections were held then. Last one was a while ago, Bob Hawke in 1984. You know, this is like dirty talk for Anthony Green. Elections are held on Saturdays. Christmas Day's out, the weekend before is too hectic, so you're looking at December 11, which would require him to call it within a fortnight. That's still pretty squeezy, so we're probably into the new year. January and February have never hosted a poll, ever. Standing in line when it's 40 degrees will put anyone in a bad mood, and you might take it out on the guy or girl who called it.
So March or April?
Maybe. It's a question that Mark McGowan's asking himself a lot, I suspect. COVID has bred God knows how many conspiracy theories, so I'm going to throw one on the pile for good measure. McGowan's been pretty cagey about when he'll open the border, right?
We have a very free community.
We have one of the freest societies.
We're very free.
The result is the envy of the world and the envy of the country.
Yeah, pinning him down's been like nailing a fried egg to the wall.
And he's getting tetchy about it. This was him in State Parliament yesterday.
You're an idiot.
Point of order will be heard in
idiot.
silence.
Moron. The Minister. You're a first-rate idiot.
Pardon?
Some people, not this person, but some people reckon he's keeping the border up so he can disrupt the federal election campaign. If ScoMo and his cabinet mates find it hard to get into WA, the Liberal Party won't be able to fundraise. No fundraising means no advertising.
But ScoMo could get an exemption.
Yeah, but how does that play with the voters? One rule for the rulers and another for the great unwashed. Remember the flaky cop when he went to Sydney for Father's Day? Ask Nev Power how much fun it is being in the middle of a border controversy. It's bad for any senior leader in WA, but being accused of breaching border policy is particularly bad when you're the Prime Minister's hand-picked choice to head the COVID-19 Economic Task Force. It's even worse when you're accused of committing the crime in an aircraft and you're the chairman of Perth Airport and the Royal Flying Doctor Service.
Well, Albanese will find it hard as well, so it's kind of even Stevens.
It's always a shit fight for the opposition. The closed border hits the sitting government disproportionately, though. A huge source of fundraising money for the party in office, that's Liberal or Labor, is private functions with cabinet ministers. Business will pay megabucks for an audience with ScoMo and Josh Frydenberg. It's a total affront to democracy, but they all do it, even St Mark. He knows the game better than most, actually. When he was in opposition leader, he went off his chops about the corrupting influence of political fundraising events. As soon as he got the top job, Labor creates something called the Leaders Forum. 25 grand a year gives you unfettered access to every senior decision maker in Parliament. A couple of months ago, 8 business heavyweights had dinner with the Premier at Nigel Satterley's house in Peppy Grove. Total sausage fest. No ladies anywhere. Just people like Mineral Resources boss Chris Ellison, Hawaiian Group chief Russell Gibbs, RBA board member Mark Barnaby and a few others.
What did they pay?
It's only 5 grand a head. It was nothing really, peanuts. But the PM and the Federal Treasurer command a lot more than that. That revenue source is restricted as long as the border is up.
The anti-vaxxers are going to love that conspiracy.
They're out again today, did you see, picketing Parliament. They're in a good mood because their cause just got a shot in the arm, ironically. One reason McGowan's Mr Grumpy in State Parliament at the moment is a recent Facebook post by Liberal MP Nick Goiran. Goiran says he's pro-vax, but unlike abortion and euthanasia, he maintains it's a private matter between a doctor and a patient. The anti-vaxxers are using that Facebook post as validation that vaccination is dangerous. Here's a dose of statistical reality for anyone worried about the vax risk. You have about a 1 in 1.22 million chance of dying from a blood clot linked to AstraZeneca. The app Risk Navigator predicts you've got more chance of being bitten by a shark, and you've got a much greater chance of dying while bungee jumping, rock climbing, running a marathon, or scuba diving. There actually aren't that many things on Earth less likely to kill you than a COVID jab. Apart from bee stings, that's 1 in 5 million.
Ow! Oh, they're defending themselves somehow.
Or getting struck by lightning, that's still up there, 1 in 230 million.
What about winning Saturday night's lotto?
Still a mug's game, 1 in 8 million.
Yeah, I knew we wouldn't win. Well, why didn't you tell the rest of us?
Here are some things that the US Safety Council says are more likely to do you in than the COVID vax. Falling over. Coming off a motorbike. Choking on food, falling off your bicycle, and being electrocuted.
What about the chance of dying from COVID?
That's 1 in 27,000. But here's the thing, that risk drops to 0.00001% if you're vaccinated.
About the same chance as McGowan losing the next election.
Or opening the borders and letting ScoMo in.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna be a bumpy ride.
I'm Ben Harvey. For more Up Late, click the subscribe button below.